Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another review. Another review on DreamWorks. Yes, I'm here to review another DreamWorks movie. This time we're going to be looking at the spin-off of Puss or Shrek, I should say. And I could be wrong at this, but I think this might actually be the first spin-off movie that I'm reviewing from DreamWorks. Now, they will have other spin-off movies that are coming down the road. There's actually one I heard that they're making that hasn't come out yet. It's going to be a Donkey movie. So a movie about Donkey, which I don't know how well that's gonna go, because honestly, Donkey's kind of an annoying character. Like, I don't think he's awful, but I do think he's annoying. Like, I think he definitely works better with other characters, but who knows, maybe they might try to do something with that, but we're not here to talk about Donkey, we're here to talk about Puss in Boots, for Puss in Boots has gotten his own spin-off movie. And this one is supposed to be a backstory, so I'm going to be talking about that. So if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. Let's try to see if we can get this channel to 1K subs and all that in the future. If we can do that, I'll give you guys a super reward video and all that. And I appreciate people who are, sticking around and all that. I know my videos have been kind of not getting uploaded, on time like I've been wanting to. I've been kind of dealing with some stuff, so it really helps me out a lot and all that. And, well, I think I'm pretty much done having the introduction thing here, so let's go ahead and get started now. Let's talk about this. So we're gonna talk about Puss in Boots. Like I said, I don't know if this movie here, I don't know if this movie is the first spin-off or not, but I'm pretty sure it is the first spin-off movie that I can think of. Now, DreamWorks has had some spin-offs and all that. Like, they've had, the Penguins of Madagascar have had their own TV show and all that, and they've had their own short and all that. Well, actually, it was more like, maybe an 11-minute episode or something, like, during Christmas time and all that. And then the Furious 5 had their own short, too. But the thing is, though, those are not, actual movies. This is an actual movie. Yes, this is an actual movie that they're doing here. This is an actual movie. So, it's interesting to see kind of, them taking a different direction on this. And they end up doing a spin-off on Puss in Boots. I mean, I think it's because Puss in... He's a very popular character. He's a fan favorite. A lot of people really like his character and all that. And I think he's a good character, too. I think he is. I like his little thing he does with his eyes and all that. And he's a good fighter. I do really like that a lot. So giving him his own backstory and all that, how he kind of became to be and all that was pretty nice. But let's talk about the movie itself. So the idea is very good, but how do they execute it? Well, I have to say, I think they execute it pretty well. I will say that. I think they execute it very well. I don't think it's probably my favorite movie, but I do think they execute this concept very well. We get a whole story that he was born in an orphanage and all that, and he started out as a criminal and all, which would make sense. He's like a bounty hunter. That's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a bounty hunter. He started out as a bounty hunter and all that in a way. He didn't in the movie, he didn't basically go out and, hunt for stuff and all that, but he needed to pay back his money and all that, so he was trying to find a way to get money and all that, and because he owes someone money. Which I don't remember seeing any person on that. Like, I don't know if he's ever paid that person back or not. But I do know he spent the movie looking for, I guess, the golden goose. Like, because it has magical beans and all that, and there's like magical golden eggs and all that. You know how the Jack and the Beanstalk works, like that stuff. And so, the fact is that, he spends the movie looking for it so he can pay back his debt and all that. It's pretty interesting concept, which is what I really like. And I do like we do get a backstory and all that. Apparently he had a brother named Humpty Dumpty, who actually is, Humpty Dumpty is actually not his actual brother. You can tell he's an egg, and even if you read the book, he's an egg. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story real quick about this. I actually used to have a fairy tale book. I did. It had a bunch of different fairy tales in it. I wish I still had it. The book, unfortunately, got broke. But I can probably buy another one, although it won't feel the same. See, I'm somebody who likes to have the original stuff, But in this case, I'm gonna have to unfortunately buy another book. I just don't know what the book was called or where to find it, but it was one of the books I had as a child. I really liked it. It had like Humpty Dumpty on the front page and all that, but it also had Hey Diddle Diddle, Cat and the Fiddle and all that, and and it was pretty cool, and I had all these, nursery rhyme, book, like, stories in it, which is kind of what, Shrek kind of has going for it, it does poke fun at, like, Disney and all that, too, with its characters and all that, but a lot of it is mostly its own thing with its own, so it's kind of between, mixing, fairy tale creatures from, like, Disney stuff and all that, and then, you got the actual fairy tale books themselves. So it's a little bit mixed, because basically the fairy tale books are usually very short. They're not very long at all. They're usually very short. And then you have like the Disney movies and all that, which are based off of books that were around before they made, Cinderella and Snow White and all that. So a lot of like the movies you see in Disney and all that are made with that, So it's kind of a little bit interesting, and all how they mix them up here. This one actually, I don't think actually focuses on the Disney concept that the Shrek movies do. It actually, where they have, Pinocchio and all that. This movie actually focuses on like the side of the characters with the fairy tale stuff, like the nursery rhyme ones, Humpty Dumpty, Jack and the Beanstalk and all that, It focuses on that stuff, So it doesn't really focus on the princess and other fairy tale side, Which is fine with me. I don't mind it, But yeah, usually though, like I said, the Shrek movies, they do a little bit of both, like they have, Puss in Boots is he's not really in a nursery rhyme, book, but he is, he actually has his own book too and all that. So it's really interesting seeing, all this stuff, and all that, and I really do like it. I like how we get a little bit of fairy tale creatures and all that, and, the Disney stuff and all that, and then we get the nursery rhyme stuff, which, like I said, the Disney stuff is, a lot of that's also based off of books too, so I don't think they actually own all that stuff, because, I've heard about this stuff going into public domain, and a lot of this stuff is not even close to going into public domain. It probably won't go into public domain if they keep, pushing back the thing and all that, which, at this point, I think I heard it's like 98 years. So I'm like, that's a very long time, so a lot of this crap, by the time it hits public domain, it's basically people are going to be dead, so I'm just like from old age or something, Unless they find a way to make people live longer, which people are living longer these days, but still, it's still kind of stupid. You gotta wait that long to, to like, do that, which is stupid, but I digress. But But yeah, they do have their own characters and all that. So I'm thinking like probably Pinocchio and Cinderella and all that are not like fully owned by Disney. They just have their versions of the characters. And that's kind of like what public domain I think it means too, is a lot of these stories and all that, a lot of them are gonna eventually get hit public domain where anybody can use the characters. I just don't think they can probably use their actual characters, like they can't just credit themselves and all that. So like Steamboat Willie and all that, although he's in public domain, people still can't like take credit and all that for something they didn't create and all that. So I don't know, the whole thing is just confusing, but I've been kind of going into a lot of details here, so let me actually talk more about the story itself, and all that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this movie, I don't think this movie is bad, but I will say it is very straightforward. It can be very straightforward. Like, it's stuff you see a lot in movies. Like, you got our main character who's who gets beaten by like their love interest and all that, and then they hate him at first and fall in love, which is what happens. You have the other character who's kind of shows up out of nowhere and then betrays them and all that. It's very straightforward. Like you really are gonna know what happens. Like it's just very straightforward. It is. Like I said, you just know you know what's gonna happen. It's not really going to do anything, it's just gonna be, it's just like you kind of see what's happening, but I still think this movie still has a lot going for it. Like I said, I do like us seeing how Puss grew up and all that. I do like him being an orphan, like where he got his, his hat and his boots and all that. Even though, like I said, a lot of it's very predictable, you kind of know what's going to happen. But I do really like that. And I will say, too, I do like Jack and Jill's designs. I remember, watching the movie a long time ago, because it's been years since I watched this movie, too. It's been, I think, about 8 to 10 years, I think, since I watched this movie. So not as long as, Over the Hedge and all that. So I remember a lot about this movie. We're Over the Hedge. I think I only remembered, the dream segment and then I think the little bear and all that. And I did not mean to do that. But I'll go ahead and just give it a score since it happened anyway, But I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, this one's definitely getting good and 120 points. Yeah, that was not supposed to happen until a little bit later. So unfortunately, yeah, I revealed the score effect thing right off the bat. Yeah, I do want to apologize for that. It's very easy for me to slip the images and all that on the phone because I don't have a screen protector and all that, and so it moves it very easily. It's kind of annoying, but I'm going to probably be getting a case for this thing soon. I would like to just do this on the other phone. My issue, though, with doing it on the other phone is, the other phone is, I can't get the screen recorder thing to work right, so I'm doing it on this one instead. That's why I've been doing it on this phone for a while, but yeah, I still think this movie definitely deserves a good and 120 points. There's not really a lot wrong with it, but I was trying to talk about the whole Jack and Jill thing when that kind of happened. So I'll probably talk about that real quick than the movie itself. But yeah, I think though, like I said, Jack and Jill, I remember not caring for their designs too much, because I used to like I said, I had the fairy tale book growing up and all that, and I'm used to seeing Jack without a beard and all that, but now I'm it's fine, he definitely looks pretty good, and I like too how him and Jill are not this typical toxic, couple, like, I was thinking that they were going to be toxic, where, like, she was going to, like, yell at him for screwing something up and all that, but no, they spend the entire movie just chatting and all that, and, I do really like that. I like that a lot, you know? Yeah, I do kind of like, I honestly hate when there's, like, toxic relationships and like, and all that. And this is somebody who's dealt with that growing up, you know. My mom and all that, my stepdad had that problem where they would get into arguments and all that, and it led to divorcing and all that. It was really painful to deal with. But with a movie and a cartoon, you should be able to write the characters better because you can control the characters unlike real life. And that's where I kind of get annoyed by that stuff, you know, because that's why I like Family Guy and all that. I can't stand like modern Family Guy and all that because they make the characters so toxic and it's just really annoying and all that. But yeah, but I don't know. But like I said too, this movie though, I was gonna say this movie, there's just not really a whole lot to really talk about. I feel like this movie's just kind of it's just kind of whatever, you know. And there's just not really a lot to it. Like I think like I said, it's just very straightforward and all that, but I don't think it's a bad movie, just not really one of my favorites, you know. You know, I feel like I feel like it's a good movie telling the backstory and all that, but I don't think it's like a great movie. But I don't think it deserves a 90 points or something because I don't think there's really much wrong with the movie. You know, I don't think it's boring or anything. It's like I said, it's just very straightforward and all that. Also, they have a scene where like when Puss gets thrown in jail because Humpty Dumpty, you know, betrayed him and all that. Like I mentioned, he betrayed him and all that, and because Puss left Humpty Dumpty, you know, there like on the bridge and all that because he got him in trouble and all that, made everyone hate him, so he left him there, which he should have and all that, and you know, and all that, but he turned his back on him and all that, and then he comes back and, you know, basically just tries to get revenge on him, which he does, and gets thrown in jail, and Puss ends up meeting the real Jack, you know, from Jack and Jill or Jack and the Giant, you know, like the Jack and the Giant, you know, beanstalk thing, you know. So I'm not sure, they never really go anywhere with that. So I'm like, so does that mean that he's actually was he the actual owner of the beans, or was he just a crazy old man? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, though, is I know that fairy tale, you know, stuff tends to have a lot of different, things, like the Big Bad Wolf. There's, so many different versions of the Big Bad Wolf. You got the boy who cried wolf, who is a big bad wolf, you know. He's not really called the Big Bad Wolf, but he's basically a wolf. You got Red Riding Hood, and then the wolf, and then you got, the Big Bad Wolf, you know, who blows down the Three Little Pigs' houses, you know. And I think there's other versions too, so it's pretty interesting, you know. So I mean, to be fair, I think Jack and Jill, there's a riddle too with that where they run up a hill and all that. I don't remember all the riddles because you know, I don't have the book anymore like I had. I'm probably gonna buy it again in the future. I just don't have it, but I do want to buy it in the future to have it again because I thought it was a really nice book. I don't know if it's gonna be a very expensive book, but I don't really have it right now. But I remember it was a fancy book, so I don't know how expensive it's gonna be because I don't know if someone bought that for me when I was little, or if I, you know, or if they've had it forever. I don't know. Because sometimes, you know, your parents will give you stuff for your birthday or Christmas or something for when you're a kid and all that, like, and when they were a kid and all that. So I don't know, but I don't feel like one of my family members would have owned that though. Plus, I was on my mom's side, and that's kind of how I got broke, because I had all those siblings there and all that. And well, at that time it got broke. Actually, I think it might have been me who broke it by accident. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like I said. It's a whole thing. It's just kind of whatever. It's like I said, it's not like a big deal. But I just don't remember the book very well. But I do know there's also, like I said, there's a Jack and Jill go up the hill, and then there's Jack and the Beanstalk and all that. But I think Jack and the Beanstalk, I don't think that's a riddle. I think that's an actual an actual book. Because the riddles are the ones that are very short. They're very short. You got Hey Diddle Diddle, and then the cow jump over the moon and all that, and you got apparently the dog laughs, or the dog in there, and you got stuff like that. But I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they basically framed him or not. I'm not really sure what happened, But yeah, they apparently somehow Humpty Dumpty got the entire town to turn on Puss. So I'm assuming that's because he he got he ran away and all that. Technically, he should have probably tried to face it instead of running away. He should have probably tried to explain what happened, but knowing those times, I'm pretty sure, when it takes place, I'm sure they would have been hard to explain that stuff, But I don't know. But I'm pretty much, about just I think done here. So before I go, though, I do want to give out a comment question, though, for this video, because I do have one. So yeah, I have a comment question for DreamWorks here. I didn't have one for the other movie I made. I couldn't really think of anything and all that, but this one I do, because I messed up this when I was doing Shrek 4. So I figured, why not do one for here? So if you guys remember, in Shrek, in the fourth Shrek movie, how Rumpelstiltskin, gives you a day to go back anytime you wanted to. So I figured, why not do that for this video here? So I was gonna ask you guys, if you guys had one day to go back to, one day in your life, it could be any day, and all that, which day would it be? And I mean, it can be any day. Sometimes it can be hard to pick just one, so you guys can just pick whatever you want, or whatever day you really liked. And don't worry, unlike Rumpelstiltskin, there will be no, disappearing after 24 hours or something like that. So you'll just be sitting back to your actual day. So, I don't know what day I would pick, honestly, to go back to for one day. I don't know. That's really hard for me. That really is. I'm trying to think of what day would I want to go back to. I'm trying to think. Actually, a day that could I could go back to for one day. Maybe a day when I was a toddler or something. Maybe just one day, a day when I was, just hanging out at the house, not going anywhere, maybe during summer break or something. That could be a good day. I wouldn't want to go back in time forever, but I wouldn't mind having one day to go back and do something, like that. But that's my comment question. So, remember, guys, if you guys have a specific day you would like to go back to, I'm really curious, because I know people have lived through different time periods, who watch YouTube, so I'm really curious. Even talking about, the 90s or 80s or something, too, that would be nice, too. But, like I said, it's your guys' opinions and all that. I'm just curious. Anywho, though, for now, I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. And I'll see you all later. Have a nice, wonderful day. See you next time.